we are gonna be having a game because it's gone and it's like it started. So intro time. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the last game of today, StarLadder Season 6, day number 11, RoX.KiS versus Kaipi, and this is gonna be hopefully a very interesting match. Before we jump ourselves into the match, and even before I introduce my co-caster, because I'm very bad-mannered, we see RoX sitting on 4 for 2 for 2, as in 4 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, so 6 points in their pocket. And I'm actually seeing them standing here twice, so I made a mistake with doing the... Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna try to fix that after. So, but they are having 6 points. We see Kaipi. They are 3 games played, 2 won, 1 loss, 6 points. So same amount of points. Let's see who's gonna get ahead. Is it RoX or is it Kaipi? And now I will introduce my co-caster. Sorry for being unpolite. Vykromond, welcome back.
So BM, Sheever, so BM.
Very.
I mean, it's great to be back. We had not that close of a game earlier. In the early game, RoX.KiS did pretty well. Then Alliance sort of just leaped over. But I expect this one to be pretty close, actually. In my opinion, these two teams are... well, then again, Kaipi have a stand-in. I have not seen them play with Gart before, so I don't know how he fits into this roster. What position does he usually play? Support?
He actually played mid yesterday. Mid Magnus. Okay. He didn't win mid Magnus, though. He was up against Sharvik. Yesterday's game against Virtus Pro... If you haven't seen that, you should, but I'm going to be giving a short recap of how Kaipi played in general. They had Eternal Envy on an Alchemist. And he was fat. He got free farm. He was like monstrous fat, right? The rest of his team, however, not able to do anything.
Oh, right. The VP game. Yeah.
And then VP, they had, they weren't that fat, but the farm was evenly spread. And they started picking team fights, able to lock down Envy a couple of times. And of course the supports rolled over without a fight afterwards. And at some point it was even up until the point where the carry of Virtus Pro, the hard carry, the gyrocopter, wasn't even needed to take down Envy. The 4 supports could do it by themselves, even if he had a BKB. He was 6-slotted, he was done. It was really surprising. So we're gonna see if this time they can maybe do it a bit better. They have got the Magnus in their hands. They banned out the Gyro as well as the Lifestealer with the Bat and the Wisp banned out by RoX. Shadow Demon, Darkseer, Nyx Assassin picked up by RoX. So no Clockwork ban or pick so far. Interesting to note. And a Nature's Prophet and Keeper of Light to combine with that Magnus there. So a lot of possibilities on both teams actually still.
Yeah, I have to say I don't love Kaipi's draft so far. They're banning out a lot of mid-heroes, but I have this sneaking suspicion that it's just going to be solo mid-Nyx Assassin, in which case you don't get that much use out of all these bans. Now, the flip side is these are all heroes that can pressure Magnus very heavily mid, so what they are doing is creating guaranteed space for the Magnus to be able to get his farm in the middle. I like that. That said, we could see a pretty big game from the Nyx Assassin where he does roaming ganks and such.
Yeah, I hope that's going to be the case, of course. So, Nyx Assassin Shadow Demon as a support combination pair, also pretty popular just for going roams and early on at level 1, level 2, etc. So, like I said, the versatility is there on both sides. Hard carry now banned out for Kaipi, leaving the anti-mage in the pool. Of course, the first pick goes to Kaipi, so they could just pick up the anti-mage right now, knowing that there's not going to be a harder carry in the game than them, depending on what RoX is going to ban out, because I actually think that they should be banning out that anti-mage right now, knowing that Eternal Envy really loves playing that. But it kind of depends. Maybe RoX wants to fight against the anti-mage. I mean, maybe they want to have Kaipi just being crippled with just playing with 4 people in the early game, knowing that RoX might be able to take it early game.
Maybe. The one question, of course, will be what do RoX use for their carry? Because we were talking last game, Sheever, about how Alliance weren't really doing an anti-RoX draft. Kaipi have done this gyrocopter and lifestealer ban first, so that's much more geared to making sure that Business Perfect doesn't get his carries. And the carry he plays most often, other than those, is Luna. And I actually think Luna is a pretty good choice here, so we'll have to see if he ends up going for that. One potential issue is that Nature's Prophet has all these treants that suck up Eclipse, but you can clear them out with your glaives. As you said, they go for the AM, so I think RoX intentionally let the AM slip through because they think they can handle it. The question will be, you know, can they handle it?
Yeah, and of course for people wondering, I think we said it before the game actually started, I'm not entirely sure, but there is no RTZ in this game. Reason for that is, of course, StarLadder is being played between, basically between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., kind of like around those times, CEST times, which is when RTZ is actually at school, because he's from the other side of the ocean, so that is why he normally won't be playing in StarLadder. Actually, Stand-in will be there almost all the time, and yeah. That is why we have a guard as a stand-in. Anti-mage indeed there. Let's see, RoX. They also have the Alchemist if they really want to. We know that they actually were the ones to run Alchemist solo mid. But then with a combination of the Lifestealer being there as well. I'm not really expecting that right now, but they might actually do that. If they expect Magnus mid, it could be a potential pickup for them.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely is an option. We've also seen them run the #1 Alchemist for BZZ as well, so that is another option that they could try to go for. I wouldn't really like Alchemist as their carry that much, simply because, yes, Alchemist can out-farm almost anything, but Kaipi have 2 farmers. They have Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage, and so I feel like you might have trouble actually winning the game before those heroes come into play if you pick the Alchemist. But it is an option available in their toolbox. It's tough. People talk about RoX.KiS slumping, but really, in some respects, I feel like they just still have to work out these different carry lineups, like more lineups built around BZZ playing things that aren't called Lifestealer and Gyrocopter. This game, they're going to go with Spectre, so this is, I've never seen Business Perfect play this, but it has been a hero that's been getting more and more popular.
Yeah, I'm not convinced though. Like, we've seen it indeed a lot in the qualifiers, and we know that it's a hero that can be active early on as well with the Haunt. He can farm when he is not in fights, and then can just jump in when the fight starts. That's great, that's awesome. But he still needs that start, and maybe they're expecting them to get that start, knowing that there is an anti-mage on the other side, so KP probably won't be that prone to fight either. They do pick up a Visage though, so that's a hero that actually needs to be a bit of aggressive early on. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how RoX is going to deal with that Spectre, how aggressive they're going to be with that Spectre, how much farm he's going to be getting, and of course what their last pickup is, because is it going to be Darkseer mid up against that Magnus, as you already pointed out, or Nyx Assassin rather?
5 seconds
It would be a
remaining.
possibility, or are they going to be picking up a jungle hero right now, or an offlanes and Darkseer in the jungle like they did previous time? We still have the Clockwork
10
here.
seconds remaining.
They could, in my opinion, they probably need to pick up a
5
support to
seconds
protect
remaining.
Spectre, and then run Darkseer
Whoa!
jungle. Ooh, they go with Doombringer. Okay.
So they have been watching too many qualifiers, methinks.
Haha. That's true. I mean, the thing about Doombringer, I wouldn't say too many, because Doombringer is legit. It's not like it's a bad hero.
No, he's great against anti-mages as well. No blinking for him.
Right. That's a huge deal. If you drop the Doom on Anti-Mage as part of a gank attempt, that can kill him very easily. The fact is, because they also have Spectre, if he goes fast phase boots, which is the new way to do it, is you go phase boots, that Anti-Mage is not getting away. Like, once he's doomed, if the Doom gets a quick Shadow Blade and just initiates on the Anti-Mage with his Doom ability, then Spectre can haunt in and deliver the rest of the damage there. It's a pretty cool combo. My concern is laning. My concern is when you're up against
10
Visage, who can deal
seconds
so much damage in the lane, how do you protect Spectre? And I think if they can solve that challenge, RoX are in very good shape.
Yeah, let's see if they can. I have the bug.
The bug?
Or do I have it? No, I can't click people. I know, I don't have the bug. No bug. Woohoo! No bug. The bug would be that I don't have anything when I click my mouse, but I do. I can click my mouse. So great. We are going to see a Doom solo mid by the looks of it, because Solo will be playing the Doom for RoX.KiS. BZZ obviously on the carry Spectre. Vanscore on the Shadow Demon once again. Yo on the support Nyx Assassin, and Dread on the offlane Darkseer for RoX.KiS on the dire side.
Looking towards Kaipi, we will have the stand-in Gart playing the Magnus mid. Then the supports will be Pylai on the Keeper of the Light and Come With Me on Visage. I would keep an eye out on this Visage because we've seen Come With Me play extremely effective Visage in the past. Which leaves Bone 7 on the Nature's Prophet. We'll have to see from his item pickups whether he actually goes immediately to the offlane or if we see him mostly jungling. And then finally Eternal Envy in the hard carry role on the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, no real surprise about who is playing what here, to be fair. And I'm actually expecting not too many surprises in lanes after we've seen who plays what. Let's like Doom mid, safe lane, Spectre, with Dread off lane. The only real difference that we of course can take from this as well, if Darkseer and Nature's Prophet go into the jungle, Darkseer farms faster than Nature's Prophet. So we'll see RoX.KiS climbing ahead there a bit. And the question is, of course, if there's no Nature's Prophet on the top lane, if he is indeed going to go in that jungle, which he'll probably go to, the gank potential coming off from RoX with the Nyx Assassin and the Shadow Demon in early game is higher than the ganking potential for Visage, because there's no early game shutdown coming off from KP at all.
Absolutely. KP are extremely stun light. Their only sources of stuns are so RP, obviously, which is on a very long cooldown, the stuns from the Visage Familiars, which come at level 6, and technically Mana Leak. That is not a lot of disable capacity, considering the fact that RoX.KiS have this low cooldown spammable Impale, in addition to the fact that Disruption will, you know, keep somebody in place as well.
Yeah, and assuming that at some point maybe he actually wants to go only when he has level 2 Soul Catcher there, it's the perfect setup for gank Disruption. Of course, that's why he is so popular in all scenes at the moment. He just makes lanes. No matter which lane, he can rotate and make them for everybody. So we have a pause. Why do we have a pause?
He's on my extremist.
Well, I don't blame him for saying that, because we saw Doom Spectres plenty today.
That's really funny. That's a good line from Villat. I want to run something by you. What if Kaipi run an aggressive try with the Visage against RoX.KiS?
With the Anti-Mage?
Yeah.
Or with the Nature's Prophet?
Well, no, with the Anti-Mage, because, okay, Anti-Mage is weak in lane. No, he's going to safe lane. But I was going to say, Anti-Mage is very weak in lane, but Spectre is very weak in lane.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I think there was an opportunity, but they've decided not to go for it, so. The thing about Visage is, I completely agree with you, not that much of a ganking hero early, but what he is a lane winner. Like, it's hard to lose a 3v3 when you have Visage in the... Considering they have Keeper of the Light and Visage, 2 3v3 configured heroes, I just feel like it's potentially a missed opportunity to have them in the safe. That said, the safe, obviously, it frees up space for Anti-Mage. If you're confident that you can out-farm, which I think Envy is confident in this game, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, the only thing they like, if they would hypothetically run that aggressive trial limits, they aren't. I mean, Nyx Assassin and Shadow Demon there is just too much to deal with for even an Anti-Mage. So I find it yeah, good choice. I wouldn't go aggressive trialing with that combination. And looks like RoX is just scouting out if there's any form of blocks or being done, and we do have a Treant hanging around there. We have also got a pause coming up from Dread. Any on pause coming up from Dread is great. We have it all. And whoa, Radiant Courier spotted Dire Forest. They were watching earlier.
So Kaipi has been doing this for a while, actually. So I'm not that surprised. I'm less surprised in this game than I was in the... What was the first game? Oslic?
Yeah,
or
Oslic
TCM?
Oh, yeah, TCM did it, yeah. The Radiant team. Yeah, we're right.
I mean, yeah, it's a good way to get free blocks when you're not contesting the lane. So in this case, we see Bone 7 going with that pooled clarities, bot clarities, plus haste. So he will be going up into the jungle, trying to get a fast Midas, and as a consequence, it'll be nice to get this creep block if they can get it. Just delays that push, for one thing.
Yeah, he has to be careful, though. It's gonna get... No, he didn't scout it,
okay.
actually. They saw it.
They
saw
it. It, but yeah.
And there he goes.
Oh, they can't see it when it's over there.
Shadow poison.
Ah, nice. I like the shadow.
And they'll
poison.
see it, but will they be? Now they won't kill it. Haste is being used. That's it.
That's
by the way, for people experiencing lag, apparently on my stream, probably 2 minutes ago, so that was a while back. But I'm not dropping any frames, so any issues that you have right now are on the side of Twitch. Please report. Send a report to Twitch, because it actually helps me also get my stream more stable, because they'll look into the servers which you'll be watching at my stream from. So yeah, not on my side. Unfortunately for you people, I can't help it. So there you have it. We already introduced everybody, of course. We did that during all the pauses. So it's a Doom versus a Magnus mid. opinions, please.
He missed a lot. He's got to not miss so many last hits. He had several opportunities for last hits there, but his Scorched Earth actually messed him up. So familiarity is going to be a pretty big deal here. If Solo hasn't practiced this Doom that much, he could be in trouble. I would love if Gart, in one of his levels, actually for level 4, for instance, picked up level 1 in power, because Magnus can kind of out-harass Doom in this lane in some respects.
Yeah, that armor is just really, really, really low. And I mean,
so at level 6, Doom can just kill Magnus straight up. But Magnus can win the lane before them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Magnus has got 5 armor, and Solo's got, like 1 right now, so... You know,
too much. He has too much armor.
Yeah, and 62 attack damage coming off from the Magnus. 70 from Solo, though, so bit of difference in attack damage, but the armor making the difference there, and putting Guard ahead here, even though Solo... I mean, we know... Oh, Skewer towards the tower. Solo has the luck that the creeps are there as well. Will take a tower hit, though, but could have been a lot worse, I think. And he'll learn from that, I hope.
Worse. Absolutely, it could have been far, far worse than it actually ended up being. So, Solo doing fine in this lane so far. Honestly, the execution from both of these mid players hasn't been completely tip-top, but it is a dangerous lane, especially, again, when Doom hits 6, Magnus is dead. Just dead. So he has to try to get an advantage before them.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we do have the Battle of the Carries going on. Entomage slightly ahead, 13 for 3 on the Spectre, while Entomage is sitting on 15 for 3, so not a big difference, but still a difference nonetheless. We do, however, have Pyrelight Die on the bottom lane now, actually taking some last hits and getting some levels, compared to the supports of RoX, who are just hanging around, not really doing anything. So this is a difference that Kaipi is going to get the better of. And in the meantime, they're also having ancient stacks going on, used or done by Treons of Bone, by the way. So that's really nice that he can get that for anti-mage later on.
Well, there is a blocking ward though, so they didn't get the stack.
I mean, which blocking ward? Like, I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about you said ancients.
Oh, did I say ancient? I mean,
yeah. Sorry, I got confused. Yeah.
No, sorry,
no worries. Yeah, absolutely. This jungle camps will be very, very effective. Eternal Envy is rushing that Battle Fury, I believe. No, actually, he's going Midas.
Whoa.
Eternal Envy.
Anti-mage
so
Midas.
Greedy.
You don't see that often.
Oh, what a greedy little anti-mage. Okay, fine. Midas. Midas will hit at around 5 minutes, it looks like. Okay. Alright. Honestly, I would like to have seen Battle Fury, but Midas is certainly an option as well. He can try to race ahead of BZZ's Perfect by taking the Midas and then still getting the Battle Fury. Trouble for Gart in the middle here. Nice low ground skewer. That was actually very smart. But Solo's still chasing. I think they can't get this, in my opinion.
Well, Gart in a lot of trouble, but Solo will go down first. Come with me being around there, gets the first blood. And that was over, like, overextension.
It's Storm Spirit all over again.
Yes, it is. I mean, we've seen that in the first game or the previous game that we saw. I mean, it's just Solo doing Solo things.
He's so aggressive on every hero in every context. I bet if you asked Solo what he thinks about bottle crowing, his response would just be inchoate rage, because his style of mid is something that was way more popular and effective before bottle crow became a thing. But bottle crow gives the defenders advantage, and it makes diving very, very punishable. And I feel like, in my opinion, he just hasn't adapted as much to it, because he does these dives and just they get deflected by the fact that the person can always bottle.
Yeah, he does have his Doom now, though. Though Gart also has his RP, so experience-wise, he is not that far behind, and that's purely because of the 7 denies that he has. He's gonna go for this. He doomed, looking for that level death. Is he gonna get it? He needs a vision, though. There's a division, and that's gonna be a kill. Gart, no hope for him, and there he goes. Oh, nice deny, of course. That's Bone 7 just taking a bit of a break from the jungle, but he can always do that. And
that was a critical deny. Yeah. I mean, like I said, level 6 Magnus cannot survive. Good jukes, but Doom will get that kill. But he got no benefit from it because of the deny. Excellent play from Bone 7, actually. Fantastic play.
I agree. I very much agree. I mean, I'm still sitting stuck on an Envy's anti-mage with Hand of Midas thing, because I don't know if RoX is gonna wait for that long. I mean, yeah, they've got a Spectre, and we know that that's a late game carry, but knowing RoX.KiS, they'll want to fight.
Look
Sooner
at Dread
rather
and
than
how much he
later.
can harass. This is the thing. This is part of the problem with this Midas, in my opinion. You're up against a Darkseer. Darkseer can duel the anti-mage in lane. Like if he puts two, what are they called?
Ion
What's
shells.
wrong with my brain? Ion shells down on the creeps. The anti-mage actually can't approach to last hit. So by the time the Darkseer joins the lane, you want to be well on the way to your Battle Fury so that you can duck into jungle, and he's not. So I honestly think this was a fairly, this was an error, but I don't know. Let's see if they kill Dread here.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They will.
Nice.
And Envy actually getting the last hit. Come with me doing the nukes. But Envy getting the last hit on that, so extra gold for him. A lot of supports coming out to help. I mean, he did waste a lot of time of their supports, while his own supports are still doing probably useful stuff, stacking a bit, pulling a bit, trying to get some experience. But yeah, dying there, especially against Eternal Envy, not really something that you want to have.
Great kill. Come with me. Excellent Visage player. He played exactly correctly there. Good body block to prevent Dread from being able to walk away with his level 2 Surge. And just nice play overall by the supports there. Really securing that kill for Envy. Giving him some free farm space. Because just take a look. Because the Darkseer joined this lane, now you have Anti-Mage falling behind. This is perfect on last hits.
Yep.
He is ahead on XP because he has the Midas, but he's behind on last hits.
Yeah, he does have a ring of health, so he will be able to get a bit back on HP, but those iron shells, I mean, they're still level 4, they're still gonna hurt. Hurt a lot actually, and he's completely out of regen now as well, so he'll have to deal with it. And we do see not only is it gonna be RoX that's getting ahead on the last hit, getting the Spectre that is, it is also Dread, even though some of those are jungle creeps. I mean, not all are. And actually, we even see right now that Nature's Prophet is ahead of them. And of course, jungle creeps again, but still, in terms of numbers, it shouldn't happen right now. And they're actually gonna dive this for him. There's a couple of people here. Doom with the Invis Rune. There goes a Doom upon Come With Me, although wanna leave Eternal Envy. Dread in some trouble. Birds stunning people. There goes the Mana Void. Dread will die. Surge is not gonna be enough. Visage with the kill. Bone coming in. And we'll try to take someone as well. Solo and BZZ here. With Solo already going down. BZZ, he haunted himself in. He's gonna regret that choice, and all of a sudden, all the things that we just said about getting behind on the Spectre no longer valid, as they just overcommitted, overextended, over everything there.
Yeah, overextension is exactly right. Way overdoing it there, RoX.KiS, and they got punished so hard. Was that 4 for 0 overall on that fight?
3.
What a mess. Even the Spectre haunting in when you just really didn't. You didn't have the advantage in the fight that was ongoing, and you just lose the Spectre for nothing.
It was the 3
Visage.
cores. Like, the only 2 that weren't there were the 2 supports, and the 3 cores die for nothing. And they even used the Doom and the Visage, and Visage doesn't die in the end. I mean... Yeah, I don't like, facepalm moment once again. We know
this
what that...
is a no Gravekeeper's Cloak Visage, so it's not like he's that tanky. He really just has the medallion for armor and the treads, but... They just got punished so incredibly hard. They're not out of it, but that does put them quite a bit behind.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen an RP usage, I believe, so we don't even have those team fights going. And I mean, the net worth is now going back to the favor of KP quite heavily. Actually, Spectre losing a lot of farm with that, a lot of gold with that as well. And I mean, why haunt in? Like, did she really think she was gonna make a difference there is the question. She is just not that good early yet, if there's no big team fight, as Solo finds himself some birds, but the birds done Yol and will be healed up again, and they have to be careful, because getting caught out of position right now is like, now they have to just do damage control for a while, not die.
Yeah, I mean, they use the Vendetta to try to kill those familiars, so they use that up, they don't get it. We have Shadowblade being built by Nature's Prophet, so actually, is he done? Is it being... No, he's not done, but he's on his way to Shadowblade. We have Anti-Mage, who is having a pretty tough time, just because, again, it's hard to come up and last hit easily against Darkseer. But they may try to get another kill on Dread here.
Yeah, and the Surge is up. Here comes Doom as well. Goes for Doom upon Eternal Envy. Dread gonna try to do what he can before he will go down, but he will go down. Envy, though, he might go down with him, unless he's gonna get the Night RP up on BZZ, who is actually able to pick up Envy. And now gonna be on the run again. The lack of shutdown is really hurting them right now, but it looks like they'll still get the kill. Tower actually with the last hit incoming. 3 dead for a solo anti-mage. Like, it's nice that they kill him, but losing Spectre over that, I'm not convinced again.
Yeah.
They can't, like...
1 for 3.
Yeah, they like, normally this would be a nice pickup if Anti-Mage would be, like, the one to deal with, but that's no longer the case.
Yeah.
Like,
they're
too far
delaying...
behind.
They're delaying Battle Fury, and that's all they're doing. That's the only successful part of their actions right now. Losing the Spectre repeatedly. He's actually going poor man's shield right now. I mean, I kind of like this just because he is so involved in these fights. This drum poor man's is good in that respect. But he actually has no chasing capacity because he went Tranquils. So it's kind of a schizophrenic build. The Tranquils is just, I'm going to sit alone by myself and I'll be fine and you can't do anything to me. But then why are you haunting into every fight? If you wanted to haunt into every fight, I think you probably go for phase so you can chase people down. I don't know.
I mean, he does have the drums, which is great, but yeah, it's a contradictory build that he has going for right now. And I mean,
I just feel like RoX.KiS need time. They need time to... Basically, they were punching above their weight for a very long time because they had a limited number of lineups and positions that they were playing, and they were very good at those. But once people figured out how to draft against that, it's like a brand new team. Like, they have to figure out completely new strategies. So it's not that they're bad, it's just that they're like, they had a big setback in their development because teams have started banning these busy heroes, which forces them to develop completely new approaches.
Yeah, and it makes, I mean, also just an entire RoX thing. They want to be aggressive, which is great, but they're doing it too much right now. Like, they don't, like you said, I mean, they're maybe a bit new to the way that they're playing right now, to the lineup that they have. And one big thing in Dota is knowing when you're ahead and when you're not ahead, when you can go in, when you have to back off, etc. And that's just something that you have to get the balance just very fine-tuned for, and right now they don't have that.
I totally agree. I mean, what they're trying to do, Dread, he's getting caught again, I think. Yeah.
Soul Assumption, there we go. Unstoppable Visage. Come with me, sitting on 6 for 0 for 2, has been an 8 out of the 9 kills, and looking
they might get Courier. They got the Courier.
They got the Courier. That's the Vendetta being used to good purposes by Yol. Wasn't able to help his teammate, but get something out of it anyway. Which is all you can hope for at this point. And did it actually have something in it? I don't think so, did it? Let's see. It actually did. It has Come With Me's Ogre's Club. Nice. Yes, Ogre Club. So that's gonna be him for probably an Aghanims, as it looks like Yol popped the Spike Carapace, guard back out, but Joel will still die. Lands an Impale, but Come With Me, of course, again, I mean, he was just left alone, he gets that. Solo might be in some trouble as well, the bird's coming in to stun him, and there is a 4-stack Soul Assumption. Quite tanky Solo though, able to stay alive, no RP, because there is the Haunt and the Doom. Guard backing off, the Haunt in on Come With Me, he'll go down. That's a lot of gold going the way of Doom, because the Wicked 6 streak is of course there. And they just profit TPing out. That's a good return kill that they get, but it was a very big overextension that they had to wait for before they could get that, as Guard will be able to TP himself out of there.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension. They get the kill on Come With Me. That's a very nice pickup. He is level 10 on this support Visage, so nice kill. Make sure that he isn't able to extend his streak any further. They don't get the kill on Magnus despite using Doom, so Garter manages to escape. He's working towards Blink Dagger about halfway there. Nice job by RoX.KiS. That could have gone worse than it did. I still feel like this Doom probably needs a little bit more to get into the fights.
Yeah, previous gold, actually, the gold that he got.
Oh my god.
Now they're gonna go for Solo again. What? Oh, he does have a vacuum. He doesn't have him. He doesn't have another Surge anymore though. Now he does, but is it gonna be enough? Nope. Mana Void. Disruption gonna be just a second too late. Soulcatcher's still up on there, but the Blink Away isn't there. I mean, how often has Dread died on this bottom lane? 5 times.
5 times. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say it's a Dutch saying, but like it's, you know, I don't know, that's a Dutch saying though, I'm not going to be able to say that in English, but something about not making the same mistake twice in a row and then do it in 5 times is also not good.
Well, that's funny. So there is a somewhat equivalent English thing, which is fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me, I mean, if you get fooled 5 times.
Yeah. Looks like they want to fight this though. They want to defend their tower. Fortification already came up. Vanscore was looking for a disruption. Can't find it though. And with normal brown boots, he can't really get anybody. And there was no search from Dread, so not too trigger happy on the kill. Actually, I'm thinking these familiars could actually take down this tower right now if they get their full 7 stacks up again. If there's nobody around.
Yeah, well the tower can kill the familiars very quickly is the problem. So he needs creeps, but with creeps, yes, the familiars will clear out the tower quite quickly.
We see the courier almost back. By the way, Guard has actually got himself almost a blink dagger.
Kaipi are finding development for almost all of their heroes, which is really, really important at this stage of the game. Especially because Visage, actually, people say he's not item dependent, but you can build quite a lot of things that are effective on Visage. With just Treads and Medallion, he's already an excellent hero. But if you add on things like, as you said, Aghanims, BKB depending on the game, even things like Assault Cuirass is surprisingly good on him, plus it buffs your anti-mage. I mean, it can really be a huge factor, and Come With Me Visage is almost one of the anchors of Kaipi these days. It's really, really worked out well for them.
Well, Yul, he was waiting around to try and go for the Nature's Prophet. Now is his chance. Bone is gonna get not doved. Maybe he is. Yeah, he just wanted to have his dust, because the Shadow Blade is indeed up on Bone 7. So Dust is there.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for it. Vendetta will run out soon though. It's already out, but it doesn't matter. He goes Shadow Blade. Here comes the Dust. They get him. They need to find him though, and he still has a TP out. But there's actually a TP in. Impale up on guard. Sprout is there. Spike Carapace trying to do what he can. Yul, you are out of position. You are a goner. Or yeah, he is.
Ouch. Completely failed gank there. Vendetta runs out just before they wanted it. Then he still uses the Dust. Nice little tree juking by Bone 7. And he's making Orchid Malevolence, it looks like, so that'll be very effective against RoX.KiS, actually.
And that kill got guard his Blink Dagger as well, so this is KP looking good and looking ready to fight as well. I mean, nah, not yet with the anti-mage, but with 4 they're looking pretty good. Nice score, the disruption is still there, bounce score. Gonna land a Demonic Purge, but here comes the TP in from Bone 7. A couple of last hits needed, and he gets it as well, because he is just that tanky, or that high, well, hard hitting with that Shadow Blade. TP out will be fine, because BZ cannot do anything against it, and BCZ, he has to be careful, because he cannot deny the tower, or attempt to deny the tower. He is gonna run away, and wisely so. But he does lose. The first tier 1 tower, and Doom up on Envy on the bottom lane. He is gonna run, he is gonna die. Bone coming in, a bit too late though. There's no dust for him now, and this might be a exchange on towers, which wouldn't be too bad for RoX. Spectre is in a lot of trouble top though, will still go down, that's bad for RoX. They do get guard with the Impale coming off from Yul. Pylite Die should be able to live. Tower bottom goes down, in the end it is basically an exchange for anti-mage Spectre, and RoX getting a kill on top of that, so it's not that bad.
It's pretty good. The one good news for RoX.KiS is that anti-mage is being really held down, so Envy, because of this early Midas, he's still at 19 minutes doesn't have Battle Fury. And in fact, he's still a little away from it. He's about 1,200 gold still to his Battle Fury. So this anti-mage is going to be a non-factor for a very long period of this game. And that's good news for RoX. The problem is right now, the question is, can RoX win with the rest of their team against the rest of Kaipi's team? And I feel like Kaipi have a little bit of the advantage there, even considering the deficit of the anti-mage. But because the Spectre has gone an extremely ungreedy build, good early effectiveness items like Drum of Endurance, Poor Man's Shield, Diffusal Blade, for a while the Spectre will be a bigger deal in engagements than the anti-mage will be. And I think they need to try to use that.
Yeah, the only downside that they kind of have with that is that if they are starting to go 5-man versus 4-man Dota, which in the end it would end up to be if indeed anti-mage is not going to be in fights, but Spectre is, they'll fight up against a Rabbit, or an RP still. I mean, that's regardless of if it's 4 versus 5, that could be the dies from the do it or die for RoX. They are gonna go for Pylite Die. The Soul Catcher was there as well. He will go down, but Solo being locked out of position inside his Sprout, he is gonna die as well. The Skewer not even needed anymore as Bone 7 picks up the last hit, and V coming into the fight wants to go for Dread, but the Mana Void not doing enough damage to get the kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but definitely in favor for KP as it's a Keeper of the Light support for solo mid Doom.
Yep. Once again, RoX.KiS, in some situations, I think it's advisable to sort of dive in and take the advantageous fight, but they didn't actually earn that advantageous of a fight there. And so, because this Doom is simply not tanky in any capacity, he's not really able to get in and do that much before he just gets smacked back down. He does have his Shadow Blade and Phase Boot, so it's a quick Doom. We talked about that initiation capacity. But right now, Anti-Mage almost isn't their proximate problem. Their proximate problem is the rest of the heroes, and they don't have that many tools to deal with them.
Yeah, we actually saw, I mean, I was quite surprised to see that Envy actually took a break from farming and went mid to help out. I mean, he didn't end up getting a kill, and I guess, Doom was already dead before he actually got there. But it does say something about his plan for this game. And it's, I mean, I mentioned during the draft, I mentioned yesterday that he totally did not get involved into anything and just was farming and left his team basically to rot for a long time. And, wait a second, do they see him?
So
no, they don't. I was gonna say, now the center ward goes down. Disruption is there, but come with me, still get ported out. Guard gets the shockwave out to get a kill off Van score.
But yeah, we do see low. He's very low.
Oh, but he dodged the soul something with the Shadow Blade. Tower will still go down to the Visions though. Dread coming in, Vacuum lands on 2. What can they do though? They do have a Doom. Impale goes out, there's the Doom, up on Come With Me, the Haunt is in as well. Pylite die, taking a lot of damage, will die as well, but there's the RP up on 2. Shockwave going down, kills off both of them, and Yol pops the dust before he has to run. Diffusal Blade, slowing Garth, BZZ, he is just being left alone right now, and he is cleaning house. This is the triple kill for BZZ, and there's 4 dead on the side of KP, with the only one left alive. It is an anti-mage that wasn't able to do anything this fight. This is like the contrary of what we saw yesterday. Yesterday he wasn't in fights at all at early game, and now he's trying to be involved a bit more, probably, you know, trying to learn from yesterday.
But, sure, but he's a Midas anti-mage. Like, how much can he do? That's the problem, right? Like,
he does have his Battle Fury, though.
Like, A+ for effort to get involved, but what good is your hero in these situations right now? And BZZ getting a triple there is an absolutely huge deal. The Spectre is actually out of nowhere really scary. 3k gold, in addition to the fact that he's built these very effective early to mid-game items.
And he's on top of net worth as well.
Exactly. The Spectre is actually a huge deal. If they get a pick off here, though, oh man.
Yeah, BZZ, don't get too greedy though. He gets slowed down. He really wanted the tower. He gets a tower actually. Soul Assumption though, taking a lot of damage. Probably there as well, or not. Or BZZ is gonna be just fine because they go on other people instead. The Darkseer gives his life for that. Worth it though.
They make it advanced score?
Sitting on 4 stacks of Shadow Poison doesn't matter. Roll though, he still wants to go for Come With Me. The Impale's there, the Mana Burn is there, the Dagger comes in as well. And that is a very low Come With Me, but BZZ, he gets the kill, but he was a bit too greedy, or is he? He's gonna be staying alive. He is fine with the haste that he has. He's just dodging that Illuminate, and he lives with the kill under his belt. That is, regardless of losing Van score, I mean, they lost Dread, but it allowed BZZ to live. Then they lost Van score, but it allowed BZ to pick up a kill. Regardless if it was a 2-versus-1 trade, I would put that in favor of RoX regardless. Still.
Yeah, win or lose, RoX.KiS are one exciting team to watch because they do not care. They just don't care. Behind ahead, they'll always dive, they'll always go for the kills. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But there, I agree with you, Sheever. I think they're getting that advantage for Spectre, or they're at least trying to create. He's going Radiance.
Ooh. No, but now that they are now still fighting against the clock though, because Envy still will be able to pick up that farm. He has got that flash farming built and he is ready with it. We see his gold per minute now and it's sitting on 442, and it's going to be a lot higher after he takes down this ancient stack with the Empower of course as well. Mega cleave rather. And he's now already sitting on 480, so he's already ahead of the Spectre. But this is an open door for RoX that is slowly closing.
That's true. However, I would say that the Spectre is still very good news for them. I actually like the Radiance pickup because what it means is that they can almost, not quite guarantee, but they are in pretty good shape to not worry about RP. Because if the Spectre haunts at the beginning of a fight, Magnus will simply not have his Blink Dagger available at all. And that's a big deal. When you've nullified the most important Magnus item on the board, that can have a huge impact.
Yeah, by the way, this support Visage, he is actually third highest on net worth for his team. He's got himself an Aghanims and a Gem and Treads. He is 11 for 3 and 6. He's been on 17 out of the 20 kills. He is doing amazingly well. And he's got a third familiar as well, should he resummon his familiars, which he can't do right now just yet. So in 40 seconds he'll have a third.
He wants to wait too. What you can do, one of the great Visage combos is stun, resummon, stun. So he might want to wait for that before he does the resummon. It's just such an effective combination. Honestly, Come With Me's Visage is the main thing that I think gives Kaipi the advantage in this game, all throughout it.
Oh, Orchid up on BZ was a bit too late though, because the dagger was still there and BZ runs away. And he has got his Radiance,
And we have Blink up on Yol, so for what it's worth, we talk about supports farming. Sure, Nyx Assassin isn't farming as well as Come With Me is, but he does have his Blink Dagger, which does give him a little bit more initiation power on top of the Doom, etc., etc.
Yeah, one of his core items, of course. I mean, it might not be the same value in terms of gold. it is probably around the same value as an extra visage in terms of usability for your hero percentage-wise, if that makes sense. Which I think it does. But then again, in my head, everything makes sense.
I agree though, like, in terms of the door closing, there's at least a pretty long period right now that's fairly dangerous more dangerous for RoX.KiS than it is for Kaipi. Because Envy has his Manta style, which now means that the anti-mage will be a factor in these fights, especially when you add the fact that Garter now, level 14, he has his W maxed. So you max in power last out of all the Magnus abilities, but this means that anti-mage will do very, very impressive damage when you add the cleave and the extra 50% to base. So AM does good damage, Nature's Prophet does good damage because he wants Shadowblade Orchid. So it's dangerous, and it's something that Spectre alone will not be able to punch through just yet. I still feel like in the extreme late game, it's going to be difficult to handle the Spectre. But for now, Kaipi, if they take a fight, I think, barring some sort of big execution issue, they'll win.
Yeah, they don't have that much threat yet to deal with from the Doom. He is building an Assault Cuirass that will definitely help RoX a lot. One thing that is also, I mean, important to point out, you mentioned already the Haunt in the beginning of the fight will stop Blink Daggers. I'm actually thinking that it might be enough to almost at least force Pylai Die back by a lot. I mean, Visage is a support that is very tanky, but Pylai Die has only got 1900 HP. And that's trouble. If you're gonna get a Haunt at the start of the fight, he is squishy. He doesn't have a Bracer, he does got 2 gauntlets, which is great, you know, awesome. More strength helps out with your survivability, but he's gonna be having a lot of trouble. And if he dies, like, he only needs one more nuke before he dies. After the Haunt, I would guess. If he dies, there will be no Illuminate.
Yeah.
So
no Illuminate, no Blinding Light, which is also an enormous factor against Spectre. I agree with you. The thing is, Pylai Die is going to have to stay right on top of his fellows, because if he takes a couple Desolate hits and then a couple seconds of Radiance, that's it, no Pylai Die. So yeah, absolutely, he's going to have to play quite safe, sit right on top of heroes like Come With Me, and just hope that nobody on RoX.KiS looks at him funny. That's the thing, Nyx Assassin is also a certified Keeper of the Light killer.
Yeah, oh, we do have one AFK, okay. Visage is the one with the gem. He is standing at the back. And
Visage is hard to kill.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, what the situation is right now. It looks like Solo should be able to live through this.
Oh, for Solo? Let's see how Solo he decides to get about this.
Well, he is invisible right now, and the gem is on the Visage. Like I said, he is the one furthest back, so if he just runs straight ahead, should be fine.
As long as he goes straight ahead and not, maybe I'll farm another creep camp.
I think he see this, though. I think he saw it.
Well, we could take a look at their vision, can't we?
Yeah, but I think they already, like, the creep wave was... No, it wasn't back that far, I guess, because it's not that big of a wave.
Who is drawing? It's a nice little drawing.
This is Dread drawing. It's very interesting.
Very nice.
I think he's drawing an amoeba.
An amoeba?
Like the
an
celled thing.
Yeah. It looks kind of amoeboid, yeah. Yeah, so as long as Solo runs due east, I think he's completely fine. My only concern is that since it's Solo we're talking about, he'll just be like, let's farm.
And then he might not know that they're there, indeed. Oh, he makes himself visible, he pops his face boost. It's gonna be enough still. He realized there was trouble. Or maybe not, but at least he is...
No, I mean, they can't chase anymore. He's far away.
Yeah, unless... Wow.
Woo!
I really thought Envy was gonna jump up on there. But he jumped to the wrong side, takes one last hit there, blinks himself out. Ooh, that were dangerous times, though. Envy finds himself BZ, the Radiant's ready, gets burned a bit, and now, right now, I mean, we know that Envy has got himself the greedy build. Wait a second, Dread, should be fine. But we also know that he has only got damage at him so far, so he's also going to take a lot of damage from that Haunt. And the Haunt actually goes in. I'm going to watch Pylai Die also. Look at that damage on Pylai Die. The dagger hits, and he is going to get burned to death if BCZ gets a bit more closer. RP hits on 2, though. Magnus will still go down, and there's no follow-up against the... after the RP. Gem of Crusade dies as Visage goes down. BCZ, he gets them all. Well, he gets 3, rather. He loses 2. We saw the bird picking off Yol still. But that was anti-mage. I mean, how fast did he go down, right?
Very quickly. So one of the things is, no, actually he's not a level where you hit him hard with the level death. No, he just got dumped on, basically.
I just pointed out, like, he doesn't have any extra survivable items, and that just hurt him so much right there.
I agree. completely. There's just too much incoming damage right now from RoX.KiS, and they win that fight convincingly, even though, in my opinion, the beginning of the fight went very poorly for them. The setup, they got a wall, it only hit Come With Me. Like a Visage, an illusion of a Visage is not tremendously useful. Dread died quickly, you'd expect them to lose that fight, but the problem is, Anti-Mage just doesn't contribute that much. Almost all of their damage across the entire team right now is being dealt by Come With Me and his birds.
Yeah, and we had, of course, the birds, they took down Nyx Assassin real fast, and he was one of the two that was locked inside that RP, including Spectre. But BZZ, he just stood there burning people to death, right? And I was actually surprised that Pilot did not die in that fight. He was very close, he had to back off. He got the dagger, actually. We saw that BZZ probably thought, like, okay, I'll haunt in, I'll dagger the Keeper of Light, and he should die from that, but he was out of there fast enough. So
yeah, they survive with Pilot, which is good, but losing Envy is
losing an
bitter
Anti-Mage.
pill.
And losing a Visage too. I mean, he is very farmed, and of course he started out as a support, but he turned into be a bit of a semi-carry here for Kaipi, and you know that him dying still hurts quite a bit as Envy. Look at the damage that he takes.
It's incredible. He's gonna TP out though.
Yeah, he should be safe. No vacuum anymore for Dread to stop that from happening, and no vision either.
Part of what's going on here is Anti-Mage only has, well, it was less than 1200 HP, now it's 1366. More if he switches Treads to Strength. But pure damage from the Desolate is what's causing him to die so quickly. Is that extra 65 bonus damage on every single hit coming from the Spectre, and Anti-Mage is a low HP hero, so pure damage hurts him very hard. He's got high magic resist, but pure damage doesn't care.
Yeah, it's trouble times for KP. They just have to, right now, their idea is to hold on and not get picked off, and maybe, I'm actually thinking maybe they can try to find a team fight when they know that the Haunt might be on cooldown and the Spectre isn't there. That's gonna be a tough situation to have, but I was almost gonna say, like, have a team fight where there's no Spectre, but that's not possible because he'll just Haunt in. But then knowing that Haunt isn't there might be the one that they need to go for, and that's tough to bait out without people dying, so that you can still go in afterwards.
I agree. It's gonna be, yeah, if you can bait the Haunt somehow, that's about the only way. Because Spectre is moving towards Heart. I don't think that RoX.KiS are really behind at all in this game right now. It feels to me as though they're slightly advantaged even. I would love to see Dread finish his BKB sooner rather than later. That's big to me. Oh, can they catch BZZ? No, they can't. That's too bad.
No.
If Dread hits BKB, his survivability against Visage, who's just been, like, kind of taking a crap on him in every single fight, improves dramatically. And you want your Darkseer to survive as long as possible, just because his abilities are so low cooldown, he can use each of them multiple times in a fight, except obviously the wall. And the longer the Darkseer stays up and the more annoying he gets, the better shape RoX.KiS are going to be in.
Yeah, it all comes down to those engagements and the micromanagement of the familiars, I was gonna say, because that's making a lot of difference right now.
Envy,
no, he's doomed, he's dead. Wow, how fast does he die? By himself, caught out, farming enemy jungle, not a good idea, especially not when your entire team is making sure that your jungle is safe.
Right. Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Shots fired, but also good point. Yeah, I mean, there's an entire jungle that your team have guaranteed you, and you're off in the enemy jungle, and you know that Doom is Shadowblade, and you don't have detection. Both 7. Will he get picked off? No, not quite.
He thought he had that kill. Walked out a bit too early. He gets skewered. He'll now go down. Yol has a gem, not anymore. It's now in the hands of Highlight Die, and this is the jungle being safe.
Yeah, that's the good jungle.
Yes.
Not the wicked jungle of the West.
Wicked jungle.
The good jungle of the East.
Oh, it is. I mean, like being picked off. Okay, you know, we know that it's still an Anti-Mage. He'll farm very fast. But he just goes like without okay, he gives a kill away, great. But he goes so long without farming right now, and that's hurting him more than, you know, losing the gold and etc.
His Midas has been off cooldown for like 50 of these respawn seconds too. So he's not even getting value out of the Midas.
On the bright side, Bone 7 is farming the ancient stack from RoX, so that will help. We've got another pause coming off from RoX as well, as they like pauses. And 1800 going up on StarLadder. His Assault Crash was ready, of course. We saw that already in the previous pickoff that they did on the Anti-Mage. And what's the next item? Oh, the heart for the Spectre. Does he actually have it complete? What's in the courier? I think it is. Yeah, heart's complete. Wow. When do you think that Spectre should be trying to go for, or Spectre, I basically mean the entire team, but Spectre in particular, like with the heart, can they go? Can they 5-man and walk up the high ground?
They could try to secure Roshan and then take high ground, I think.
Yeah, they first have to take the tier 2s, because, I mean, even though we've had already a 32-minute game, normally we already see at least one team having all their towers drop, but we still have all the tier 2 towers from both teams standing. Towers are actually exactly even. I haven't looked at the gold graph in ages, but we see it in favor of Kaipi still. Even though, yeah, the difference is minimal. Experience graph going in favor of Kaipi as well, because they do have the most kills, but that is mostly due to the early game. And later game it is RoX. We saw the big drop coming off from RoX, taking fight after fight. And
yeah, I mean,
yeah. Whoa, I guess the net worth looks, the next worth looks a bit awkward because Vanscore is disconnected. So, nah, never mind.
He has more than 52, but not that much more. He's definitely the lowest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his inventory, it's just boots, magic stick, healing salve, and that's it. The other stuff doesn't count for your net worth. So he's pretty soy saucy. But Pile Die is very killable too. So 2 heroes on both teams that are pretty much going to get 1 spell of all of their spells off in each fight, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess we're getting people back. So I don't know. It's in my opinion, the game is basically tied. I mean, it's tied as far as XP goes. Kaipi are a little ahead on gold, but if you look at that 2,500 gold lead that they have 2 Midases, and Midas is not really worth 1,900 gold, right? So if you subtract the value of the 2 Midases, they're actually kind of behind on farm, considering they're getting all that extra gold out of the Midases each use.
Yeah.
And that's envy. That's envy in how much time you spent on the ground.
Yeah. But they still have fighting potential. It's just they have to actually know that they're gonna fight without getting picked off first.
Yeah. I honestly think the game could trivially swing either way. KP could absolutely mop up a fight, especially if they can somehow kill the Spectre out, or just clear out everybody else. If they can kill Doom, for instance, who's still not tanky, before he can cast his Doom on Envy, they'd be in really good shape for that fight, even considering how big Spectre is. The question is, can they sort of get the execution? I feel like the onus is on Kaipi to win fights, rather than it is for RoX.KiS to win fights. RoX.KiS can just not lose fights and, like, take them.
Yeah, if KP initiates, they can try to win fights, but based on pure power, it should not go to them. As the BKB is actually done on Bone, so he'll have that for the next fight to come.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and the Treant near Roshan actually dies, so this might be a time for RoX to take Roshan, even though, of course, they don't know that the Treant actually just vanished. But I'm kind of thinking Roshan or tier 2s, something should happen from either team. Like, KP wants to fight, obviously. Sorry, wants to farm, rather.
Yeah, and split push. They can use Manta Illusions of the anti-mage to generate a lot of tower pressure.
Ooh, he almost jumped into BCC there.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so RoX are going for this. You see the Vlads up on Doombringer. I love this pickup. Even though the armor doesn't stack with the Soul Cuirass, the lifesteal for Spectre will be great.
Yeah, he is just an aura person right now.
Yep, that's really what Doombringer devolves into. He can't really carry a game, but he can do lots of aura stuff. I would love Shiva's later on for him as well. I think it'd be very strong.
Talking about aura, by the way, of course the pack leader's aura is going to be amazing as well. From the wolf that he ate.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is a Roshan, by the way. They only need solo there. He can solo this, ooh, pun intended. And BCZ comes in just to take the last couple of hits.
Watch these familiars.
And
watch these familiars.
Radiant Roshan. But the Aegis goes to Spectre.
Thank God they got the Aegis.
Yes.
I mean, nice job from Come With Me, trading one familiar for a Roshan kill. 100 gold for 1,000 gold? Yeah, I'll take it. Well, really, it's 2,000 because it's 1,000 the other team doesn't get, and it's 1,000 you get.
Yeah,
Come With Me is such an excellent visage. He's my MVP for Kaipi in this game so far.
Yeah, he's been making all the plays happen, and even though some of the kills, shouldn't have to go to him, I have to point that out. I mean, he is a visage. He'll take kills because of his soul assumption and how it works. And but regardless of his amount of kills, he's just been doing a great job of just controlling everything and setting things up, as we have solo waiting for Anti-Mage to come and farm, perhaps. But his team will come first, and now Anti-Mage won't show himself anymore. Anti-Mage is actually going to be farming mid lane. Envy. He actually bought something just now.
BKB.
Ah, that's done. That will help him. No, but not, well, not, like, the right-click damage will still be there coming off from Spectre and from Doom as well. And of course,
and
the Doom will
still
become...
hit. Yeah. The BKB is mostly Darkseer tech, so you won't be generating really powerful illusions of yourself from these Shadow Demon and Darkseer, because RoX.KiS can flip Kaipi on their head so easily if Anti-Mage doesn't have BKB, just with Disruption, Vac, Wall, Doom. Now you don't have an Anti-Mage, and we have like 4 Anti-Mages.
It is gonna be a tier 2 that drops though, and yeah, RoX, they're probably gonna just, what I would do, even though I'm not a professional player, I'm gonna give my opinion anyway. Take down all the tier 2s, and wow, birds, really, birds. Look at the damage that Joel also takes already from those birds. I mean, birds, jeez.
Birds, man.
Yeah. It is.
They do great damage.
They do amazing damage. Vanscore was not anticipating that one. At least they get something out of return for that kill, for the tower kill that is. Yeah, 2100 gold already up on the Anti-Mage. I mean, he is farming really nicely. He is actually slightly higher right now in net worth than what the Spectre is. You're just too late to pick up the Anti-Mage there. I think actually if he went in and the Haunt was there, they might have been able to pick him up, even though, no, I would have blinked away, never mind that. The stun duration wouldn't be long enough. Even though Solo is close by as well, they actually, yeah, they want to take the tier 2s.
Come with me doing a little bit of ancient farming with the familiars. I like this. He's sneaking it because, of course, it's not that safe for Envy to go there, but it is safe for the familiars to go there. The worst case scenario, you give away a little bit of gold. He's going pipe. So I like this quite a bit as well. I think it's a smart pickup. It's a smart, cost-efficient pickup for him. That also means that it'll deflect a little bit of the AoE damage that RoX.KiS are bringing, which is actually extremely substantial. And a little bit of a duel up top. BZZ is perfect. Actually, is hiding out in the trees. He doesn't feel confident that he can beat Envy in this duel.
Yeah, and he actually didn't turn his... Oh.
Haunt.
There he goes. Ah! Bottom lane, Pilot dies. That's a gem! That's a gem! Did they take it or did they destroy it? Oh, no. Guard still has it.
Yeah, they PZZ had to get out, so it makes sense that they couldn't actually pick up the gem. But they're pressuring the tier 3 now. Interesting choice. They do have this Aegis.
Yeah, and BZZ actually on the front lines. There's the RP up on 2 only, though. Shadow Demon goes down, but as does Bone 7. Here comes Envy, though. Look at that. The Doom. Who cares about a BKB? Look at him drop. One more hit. The Doom. Boom. There goes. That's gonna be a buyback. That's good. He needed that. But that's also gonna be just a free Anti-Mage skill. And what did he do in return? Nothing. The only one that went down is the one that got locked down in an RP as support that took all the damage, took all the heat, and nothing happened. Nothing else.
Yeah, rough fight for Kaipi. They have to buy back on Eternal Envy. You can see that his net worth is stagnating. He's trying to pick up these ancient kills, but he doesn't have anything beyond the BKB, just 1k extra gold. Whereas Spectre, he has 4.6k. Like, this BZZ is perfect. He still has Aegis for about 2 more minutes. In my opinion, they should pick up 1 more item and just charge, just go high ground.
You know what I wonder with these kind of games? As in, we've just seen a game, or earlier today, with Spectre and Doom in it, and you know, RoX.KiS probably watched that as we see BZ going on a man fight with Envy. He's completely out of managed because of it, but he's not in any danger of dying, so he'll just stand his ground and not chase. But you know, they watched this game, and did they practice this? Is my question, or did they just see this and thinking, hey, this looks good, let's try that tonight again in a game if we can?
I'm sure that they practiced a bit, but Russian teams will do that. So my favorite story is that LGD International debuted Treant Protector on the competitive scene. They didn't debut him, but it was the first time in a while. They played Treant Protector. It fails miserably. And then Goblak on Empire is like, you know what? That looks like a really good strategy. Let's copy it. No practice at all. Empire plays the exact same strategy later in the day and wins.
Yeah.
So that's Russian teams for you.
Yeah, because I kind of think like RoX did the same, and it's working out amazingly well for them right now. I mean, of course, it's not over just yet. I mean, it's still an Anti-Mage. Nature's Prophet with split push, Anti-Mage with split push. It's not easy. And of course, Anti-Mage can do the same thing as Spectre can, farm, and when the fight comes, they can jump themselves in, one with the Haunt, the other with the help of course, Pylite Die, which is awesome why he got picked off first in the previous fight. I mean, he is the one to call the Anti-Mage back towards where the game is, where the fight is, but RoX.KiS is doing really well. They are not ahead in gold. They are not ahead in experience, even though experience is at 0, and I guess the later on this game goes, the less difference is going to be, because we're almost having level 25 heroes here. as BZ is level 24. But yeah, I like it. I like this strategy. And especially if they haven't practiced it yet, means they haven't perfected it yet. But even without perfection, the raw strat goes good.
Yeah, the early game I felt that they really poorly executed, frankly. Like, they gave away kills on Spectre, they were just feeding across the map, but since then they've really, really gotten better. Envy does get Doom, but I can't see how they actually
Oh, they hunt in though, and the Diffusal Blade, no more haste for him! And he will die again! And no buyback this time, monster kill for BZZ. He's got 7k gold. He is
manted
rich.
way too early.
Yeah. Oh.
And he gets purged, the haste rune gets purged, and then he's just dead again.
They find him, they know he's by himself, they haunt him, they kill him. I mean, it's just as simple as Yol finds Come With Me. That's you know, Yol, that's out of your league right now. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what he's doing either. Well, he has Brett to help him out, actually. It's still gonna be having to go away. He goes down regardless, as does the Visage. I guess that's actually a good trade right now, especially since there's only 2 birds left, so no resummon on them either. And this is RoX. They can push up the high ground, but they don't have their creep wave. They have to wait quite a while for that, actually.
That's okay. So Envy, he doesn't have buyback for another minute. And Come With Me doesn't have buyback, and they do not have the pipe to deflect AoE damage. I think RoX.KiS, if they execute, this is going to be the first set of Raxes of the game. It will not end the game, but it will be the first set of Rax.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Fortification gets used. 21 seconds though. I mean, can they actually try this? They look like they want to try it. They have got the RP. They have a Hex actually up on the Magnus. But they can't really afford to do this without an anti-mage. They can only try and delay it, and maybe it will be only delayed for tier 3 no Rax. That would be ideal for KP, because that's damage control right there. No, Hunt, Bone, careful, here comes the Skewer though, and an RP up on the 2 main targets. Do they have enough damage? Mechanism helps out for RoX, and it is gonna be a nice amount of void though. Doom goes down, BCZ. He actually goes down as well, and it is Dread runs. He runs for his life, but he can't run fast enough because Envy is on his tail and the shockwave will pick him up. And it is Yol, the one that wasn't in the fight, that actually tried to blink himself closer towards the team. Actually got himself stuck. But yeah, that's I have to say, that's the best fight KP could have hoped for, and they got it.
Absolutely. That was an enormous fight for Kaipi. And keep in mind, most of the kills came after the anti-mage respawns. That takes him up to the level cap. He's up to 4.7k gold now. So, very, 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 very big fight for Kaipi. And that is all on the stand. Bone 7 actually almost getting picked off by Yol here, but Yol just doesn't quite have the levels to do this, to get these pickoffs. I want to say that Garter kind of carried the team there. That Blink Skewer RP on the tier 4 towers is why they won that, and it committed RoX.KiS way, way heavily to the fight, to a fight that they really did not want to commit to. And in my opinion, that takes Kaipi right back into the running of this game.
Yeah, it's is there back in the game? Oh Yol, oh Yol, oh Yol's dead. Well, okay, that's that. That is one dead Yol, but they can't go in. They cannot go in. They cannot do anything with that. There are still 1 tier, 2 towers standing for either team, so that's good. There's going to be a Roshan in a couple of seconds, but there's also a Hunt on the deck, and Doom, or Spectre rather, is back up again in just a couple of seconds. So if KP goes for this, they must be ready to take a fight. Oh, Dread, what are you doing? He pops his BKB, might be enough. He's running for his life. The Haunt goes in as well. KP running. The Haunt is up for BZZ. He picks up Pylite Die. Goes for Come With Me. The slow is there, but as is the Diffusal Blade. This Hex is there as well, and the RP. He wants to go for 1-on-2. He gets it, but he doesn't get BZZ. That's the one that he wanted. He does get Vanscore, though. Great, you picked yourself up as up part. Good job, Guard. Of course, he's a stand, and he's actually dominating. He's not doing that bad. Buyback from Darkseer. 2 dead still on the side of RoX. Pylite Die dead on the side of KP, with birds getting dropped left and right actually, and there's new birds up for Visage, so he's gonna be fine with that. But this is Roshan for RoX.
Probably Roshan, yeah. Weird fight. I saw Garter positioning, trying to land the RP on the Spectre. It was about as good positioning as you can ask for. They might go for it. They're gonna go to try to disrupt this, in my opinion. It might be a little late though, but they are going.
Yeah, the birds will
No
fly.
mana void.
And B can jump himself in. No, oh, too late though. Dread Gonna be turned into a piglet, but there's a doom on Envy. Oh, Envy, what you doing there, buddy? He picks up Yo regardless. Can he do more? BCZ, no, he cannot do more. RoX being there as well. Bone 7 turns on his BKB next. Can he TP out? He does have it off cooldown. Should be able to get out of there. Come with me, flying for his life right now as BCZ chases him down. The dagger will slow him down, and the Grave Shield's not really doing anything right now, and that is a pipe up for the Iron Shell damage to be deflected, but it doesn't matter. The kill is still there with BZZ picking up. Smoke goes up as well. They need to wait for the creep wave to come before trying to push in, though. The buyback is there from Come With Me as well, but Anti-Mage dead for another 70 seconds. And a Roche and an Aegis on the deck as well, because it didn't get burned, did it? Nope.
Nope. The Roche did not get burned. Come With Me again. He's playing out of his mind. These critical grave chills again and again on the Spectre, making it difficult for BZZ to chase and get more kills. And the problem right now is that the rest of the team just cannot overwhelm the rest of the team of RoX.KiS unless they get those extremely favorable RPs, which in the last fight they didn't. The trying to disrupt the Roshan after drawing the last fight was probably a mistake, all in all. They didn't really have the tools to do so. Very nice vacuum by Dread, it has to be said, to protect that Aegis. So they secure it for themselves, and RoX.KiS win the fight and land another kill on Anti-Mage. It's very nice, but they actually won't get him to buy back from this. So the advantage from it is not as big as you think. I don't think they can high ground off that, for instance.
I wanna just send some love to Vanscore, because you know he's been dying at the start of every fight. He is actually level 12 in a game where there's an Anti-Mage that's level 25, where there's a Magnus that wants to RP his ass every single time, and apparently also does do that. He has not taken any kills for himself, very selfless. He's died 8 times still, you know, it's still quite a bit, but not as much as the Darkseer, so he's not as much as Dread. But
right.
He is actually playing the Martyr right now, pretty nicely, without actually intending it.
A little bit.
Oh, Envy! He dodges the diffuser blade, that's great. Turns BZ into a piglet, but he doesn't seem scared at all for that. Gets silenced. Doesn't care. Dread comes in. Bone 7 tries to TP himself out. Looks to be able to do that though. Oh, just had to be able to twice in a row. Cool. Okay, no kills, and Anti-Mage back alive.
Yeah, not that great of a fight for RoX.KiS. They're going to go into this next fight with Spectre with almost no mana. If they can actually drain Spectre's mana to where he can't haunt, I don't see RoX.KiS winning that fight.
Yeah, or he dies, he buys back, and he haunts back in. Or he dies, he has Aegis, he buys back, and then he haunts, and then he dies. Or, you know, yeah, that's gonna be a nice RP and a score. But is it enough, though? Envy, look at the damage that he takes, he dies! Before anything else, Solo running himself away on 30 HP, but the Illuminate will pick him up as well as the old Keeper of Light with a double kill. But BCZ, he is just rolling through this. He still has his Aegis. Come With Me doing what he can, is able to burn that Aegis away, but how much more can they do to him? He has buyback as well. He still has his haunt if he wants to use it. He tries to run. He is able to. And Mana Leak will slow him down. There's the haunt though. Mana Void. BZZ. Eternal Envy already gets forced away again. BZZ will die, but he, like I said, he has got that buyback. Double kill. He still gets the kill on the Magnus. And on the Keeper of the Light. The hell. That's gonna be the burn damage for you. And the pause comes out from Kaipi.
Wow. Crazy fight again with the huge this stand-in Garter is playing extremely well for these guys.
Yeah.
He's doing incredibly well with these RPs. The skewers back into the tier 4s. It's happened twice now. And yeah, I would actually say that RoX.KiS narrowly lost that team fight. They didn't pick up any racks. It was the fact that they didn't have Haunt, so they didn't have the extra Spectres running around dealing Desolate. Kaipi didn't actually kill him because he's so tanky. They're not going to kill him immediately, and consequently Haunt didn't happen until extremely late in the fight, and it was an important ability to have. So Kaipi, they defend successfully. The problem is, with this buyback and Boots of Travel, will Spectre be able to just clean up now?
Yeah, and one thing I would just want to point out is I know that there's a lot of people waiting for something else while they watch this, as I said that during the previous game already, or at the end of the previous game. I don't want to scare you off, but I will say that probably around this time, Na'Vi vs Alliance will start on the D2L channel on Twitch TV. However, if you continue watching this game, you'll probably be done here by the time the draft ends, and you'll be right on time for the actual game. How about that? Sounds good. Sounds good, right?
That's a good pitch. Yes.
Yes.
You will probably not miss any actual game time. This game is it's wending its way towards a close, in my opinion, simply because the respawn times alone are so big on the critical heroes that if they die without buyback, that's game, more or less.
Almost, yeah. That's very true. I mean, on the side of KP, we do have that RP and Illuminates and the turtle potential of just everybody of KP to hold them back should Eternal Envy actually die, and we've seen that a couple of times already. On the side of RoX.KiS, there's not that much that they can do. I mean, they have got this Darkseer wall, but without the Spectre, they can't really do that much. And now buyback is actually down for BCZ because he just used it. And even though he does still have a substantial amount of gold, for 5 minutes, next 5 minutes will be crucial for RoX. Because they might still lose this game, even though they've been doing amazingly well for the last, well, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah. They can definitely, absolutely still lose. One funny thing, if you're not looking at buyback status, let's play a game. Who do you think has buyback in this game right now?
Okay, I'm not looking at buyback status. I have got my mouse up on Spectre, so I know that in terms of gold he has it, in terms of cooldown he doesn't. I know that Envy doesn't have it because he just used it. I'm actually thinking no one.
So one person has it, and it's Pylai. So congratulations, Pylai. You are the buyback champion of this game. No, but 4 people are on cooldown, and the rest don't have gold. Actually, 5 people are on cooldown, and the rest don't have gold.
But these are important fights, so using all the buybacks is for everything.
We might see Pylai buyback. I wouldn't be surprised. BCC needs to buy, in my opinion, his Diffusal too. Because he doesn't have buyback for 5 minutes, so he should absolutely buy out.
Yeah, because it's been amazingly useful.
Yeah, Diffusal 2 would be a huge, huge deal. And maybe... I mean, he has 3k gold left over after that, so he has some options as far as what he would buy. Demon Edge is an option. He could try to build a second heart.
It might not even be that bad of an idea, but as you already pointed out, sometimes he needs to die to buy back and haunt in, because otherwise he won't have haunt, because he won't have mana.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. No buyback on solo. He actually is building heart as well. So you see the Reaver. Most likely heart, not satanic. Satanic is another option, but I doubt it. So yeah, for solo, I really do think BZZ on his way in should pick up at the very least Diffusal 2, but probably more than that. And we'll see if they try to dive hard, because Envy is pretty low health. And
he should get an MKB, actually, just that. I would more
he
like
can only
see
afford
MKB.
one part of it, but yeah.
But he really needs it, because Antimate's got his butterfly.
That's a good point. He could definitely go start. He could make the Demon Edge towards his... He can afford Demon Edge plus the second thing of Diffusal, and then build towards MKB.
I'm making a joke.
13 in 1 month, huh? Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
You're almost ready to begin your esports career.
Oh yeah, I am. Ooh, gotta be able to do all the, yeah, microwing and stuff. I have a super high APM with my young baby fingers. Yay.
That's true. That's true. That's how it is in StarCraft. All the like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds when you start playing, they have amazing micro.
Yeah. That muscle memory at young age is like amazing. Mm-hmm. That's why you should learn the piano when you're young.
That's what they say. Yeah, I missed the boat on that though.
I actually had 2 years of piano lessons, but I didn't pay off that well. Actually, I can't really play piano anymore, apart from the normal, you know, things that everybody can do.
Right. Furelise. I can play Furelise. I can play terrible shit like that, but nothing serious.
Oh, I'm really wondering if RoX wants to try and force the issue. They have been forcing the issue in mid lane for a couple of times now. Of course, every time after Envy has died, but they haven't really gotten anything out of it. And it's actually a Manta style that Spectre is going for. Okay,
I respect this choice. I mean, it gives him even more speed. It gives him attack speed.
And the Diffusal too.
And he's got the Diffusal too. Absolutely. I actually like this pickup. The MKB would let him pierce Anti-Mage, but I'm pretty sure when you're doomed, you don't get the Butterfly Evasion.
True. You don't get any items.
So, basically, he doesn't need the MKB because they're relying on Doom to actually hit on the Anti-Mage.
Yep. Well, let's see though. If they're gonna be active, because I'm kind of expecting everybody to be like, okay, you know what, we wait 5 minutes, because then all the buybacks are back up again, then the Roshan is almost back up again, and then we're gonna fight again.
Hmm. Do you think they're gonna all chat no rush 5 minutes, please, KK?
I hope not, because that would remove the idea that maybe my hope like that there's gonna be still a skirmish until then. Like.
Yeah, if all the buyback cooldowns come up, this game's gonna slow way down because there's always the option of teams just completely buying back. Now, RoX.KiS, I would say right now are slightly ahead. They do have this tier 3 down in the mid. They have the Spectre that's quite difficult to deal with. He's going to max out. Actually, right now, he's done with Manta as soon as he clears out the next 2 creep waves.
Yeah, and he can just spend all his gold because he is still 3 minutes away from buyback, and with the speed he farms at, he'll have buyback by the time it's up again. Like, in terms of gold. As a solo is farming top, he's going for his own heart by the looks of it, picked up a Reaver like you already mentioned. I believe Sheever's guarded there, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking to see if there's any new items, but it doesn't really look like it. We still
they're trying to trap solo.
Oh, they're going to be able to do this, but there's people around there though. We have Vanscore hanging around there with the disruption, Dread also there, and they back off, realizing that it's a bit too close to RoX.KiS's base.
Yeah, that was smart to pull back. That would have been an excessively hype way of doing it, so it's good that they pulled back. Bone 7 and Eternal Envy will get out of here just fine. And still honestly anyone's game. When I say that RoX have a slight advantage, I mean slight. It's still very, very possible for either team to take this, especially if this stand-in Magnus continues to deliver. And he has been really delivering with these critical RPs at the last moment, basically.
Yep. Looks like we see the... Familiars taking down ancient camps by themselves is a really nice way of farming for Visage. I mean, he doesn't have to put himself in danger. He can just get himself gold outside the base without really doing anything specific. Map controls, of course, going to be very important right now. We only see 3 wards up on the map, though. I mean, the ancient sack is warded, at least around it, for Kaipi. That's the only ward they have, though. And then there's 2 wards for RoX.KiS. Just to see if people are walking towards the Roche camp, even though that ward's about to disappear, and another one that doesn't really do that much in this situation of the game. Would do more if they were sieging or something like that. As we're going to be seeing them taking an anti-mage illusion and yeah, taking some illusions of it. That's nice.
Yes, split push is the thing that RoX.KiS have to be mildly concerned about, simply because anti-mage is capable of pushing in with those illusions. The flip side is, RoX.KiS are at the point where illusions of anti-mage are going to be a huge deal. Let's note that Darkseer does have his Aghanim Scepter complete. So despite the fact that Dread has died 10 times, he's got a good loadout. He's got BKB, Mechanism, and Aghanim Scepter. And those anti-mage illusions could be a huge... Both the Shadow Demon and Darkseer illusions could be a huge factor in an upcoming team fight.
Yeah. That's... I mean, that's going to be burning away manas. It's going to be... It's going to be like destructures? Disastrous if they're gonna be too if they're gonna be able to let them do what they want. There's of course a lot of AoE damage to take into account though, and the illusions won't last that long, I think, especially not with the Battle Fury, with also the Overpower being there, with Illuminates flying through, they just Raz flying through as well, and I mean they have to be careful about that, of course, about illusions, but they won't last that long, but maybe just long enough to burn people's manas away. I mean, that's possible. We do have Roshan up again in 2 minutes, so let's see how the buybacks are looking. We almost have enough gold up on the Spectre again, not just quite though. If they take Roshan, we'll have enough gold.
Yeah, Envy has a stats-heavy build. Like, he's got Mantis Style, BKB, Butterfly, all of which give you good stats. So, yeah. Those Darkseer illusions, they won't be tanky, I agree, but they will do remarkable damage. With Scepter, they do 140% of the damage of the person they do the illusion on. Like, it's almost 1.5 times the damage. Now, keep in mind, that does not include bonus damage from, for instance, Empower. So they won't cleave, they won't do that huge damage that Envy does, but the damage they'll deal is very respectable. And we talked about how squishy Pyladai is, this just makes them more squishy.
Yeah, and Pyladai already has such an issue with the Haunt. I mean, he has got a Vlad, he is like the ultimate support, getting those auras up for his team, but it doesn't make him extra tanky either. So, he is sitting on 1,000... HP in a game, like it's so tough for him. He is level 14. Now we already know that Vanscore is also level 13, so I guess they can, you know, exchange stories and stuff, and Vanscore also no extra items, and he's actually got 890 HP.
And worse armor, so he only has 11 armor. Oh, he has a little more, actually. Interesting. But the Vlad's is up on the Keeper of the Light for whatever that's worth. It gives them a lifesteal aura as well, so it balances out that aura.
Yeah, oh, Envy, careful there. He jumps himself in. Solo still gonna be finding the right one. The Doom is there. The BKB is already on though. There's an RP up on 2. Where's the Hunt? There's the Hunt. Illuminate flying through. Guard will already be going down. Envy taking a lot of damage. He will have buyback though, and he will use it straight away as everybody getting stunned from the burst, because bursts just do that. As Come With Me and Bone7 are able to get away from that one. Pylite die and Magnus. No buyback for them.
2 birds down and no resummon, though. That's actually a huge deal.
Huge.
The lack of Come With Me familiars for the next fight could be critical. Because keep in mind, they don't have stuns except for RP and Come With Me.
And we just saw the entire team of RoX basically getting stunned, allowing for Nature's Prophet and Visage to come out of there purely based on the stun from the familiars. And that's the last familiar going down, or gone rather, combination of words. It is gonna be Rax. Envy is alive, but no RP to shut people down. No BKB on Envy because he already used it before he died. And instead of Rax going the way of RoX, RoX don't die. RoX have buyback on every single one of their hero apart from Doom, but Doom, he doesn't care. He only lives for his Doom cooldown anyway, and soon enough he'll have his buyback regardless.
I think the next item for Solo is probably Refresher, if this game goes that far, because 2 Dooms is going to be pretty backbreaking. If they can get Visage, or even Magnus in addition to the Anti-Mage, that's a win. It becomes almost impossible for Kaipi to win from that point. Next Aegis, I think is going to go to Solo, I guess? If they can sneak this, because Spectre, what's he going to sell at this point? They will have cheese. Oh, you know what they should do? Aegis on Shadow Demon, cheese on Doom.
Shadow Demon. Oh, I vote Shadow Demon. I vote Shadow Demon. Come on.
Yeah, I'm only like 60% trolling because they could put it on Darkseer. Okay, Nyx is taking it. That's fine too.
Yeah, and Dread will take the cheese. Okay. Sorry, Van Score. Not a 10, buddy.
Bullshit team, not give me Aegis.
Yeah, exactly. The hell. Oh, RoX is looking good though, and now that they know that the buyback on the Anti-Mage is not there, I think they should try to look for a fight and fast too, because it's gonna be 2.5 minutes before it's up again. About 2.5.
Yeah, while I completely agree with you, Sheever, while the Anti-Mage buyback is down, they absolutely need to make stuff happen. Come With Me does finally have his birds resummoned, so he has the 3 familiars. That's again, we have to watch these familiars. They have been the main thing that's been winning the game for Kaipi. And now we're reaching the point at which the bursts just die really quickly, and it becomes a problem. Here we go. BCZ.
BCZ. Oh, look how tanky he is. Mana Void's there. Everybody is there. I mean, they're gonna kill him, but jeez, that just took so long, like really long. And he has buyback. I'm even thinking he doesn't even want to use it. Or he wants to wait with using it until his team is up the high ground and they're looking for a fight. And they're gonna find Pylite Die. Pylite Die is gonna go down already. Here comes the rest. There comes the Hound and the buyback. Going for Bone. No BKB will save him now. Double kill already going for Solo. It is gonna be the base where Kaipi is retreating to. The buyback for Nature's Prophet is still there. But the tier 3 tower is still gonna go down. BCC has to be really careful though, because if he dies now, there's no buyback, and that could mean Rax for KP because they have got that top lane pushed out. Solo having a shallow grave on him, or grave chill rather, going very slow, but it's not going to be doing that much damage. There goes the second set of Rax. Come with me. In some trouble, gets impaled. No more damage going through though, because the birds, they shut everybody down. Envy wanting to go for BZZ. Solo running away. Envy jumping himself away, realizing he couldn't man-fight BZ, even with the Hex there helping out a bit. Come with me, will still go down. Yule doing the damage, and that is RoX.KiS. I mean, it's not really wiping the entire team, but they do make sure that KP is just retreating into their base.
They're GGing them.
Well, they're not calling it just yet, and they're RPing them. That's what they do! And they mana void them as well. Dread goes down, Solo taking a lot of damage, but gets some of his HP back up again as a Doom on Eternal Envy will make sure that he goes down again. No buyback this time, no nothing. Be the GG. BZZ just sealing it with just Fountain diving completely. And look at the Fountain. Fountain is bashing BZZ right now. And you see his HP. And where? Like, what? That's a hard, that's a very, very, very tanky Spectre with a butterfly. Solo will take it over. And I mean, they can just tank this all day if they wanted to. We do have the throne going down though, because this is a GG. This is RoX taking a game off KP. This is RoX getting 9 points now in total for StarLadder Season 6. Day number 11, game number 3. KP not getting those 9 points. They'll stick at 6. and they will be surpassed by RoX in the point score. Of course, RoX do have a bit of extra games played. I do like to point out that the kill score is 41-40. Well, it has been in favor of KP the entire game.
Crazy fight, crazy game. I was waiting. Really extremely patient play from Solo, and this is the first time I'm saying this today, but he waits for the cheese and the doom on Anti-Mage until the absolute final moment that Envy is fully committed to the fight. Then he eats the cheese to give himself the mana to cast Doom, dooms the Anti-Mage, and the fight just stops. After that, there's no way that Kaipi get back into the fight. Really well played to RoX.KiS after an incredibly rocky early game. And I gotta say, come with me, amazing play for Kaipi. Excellent Visage all the way through. The stand-in Garter had some huge RPs in the Magnus. For me, it goes back to minute 4, the decision to buy Midas first on Anti-Mage in this game. I still don't know about that. I still think it was an error.
I'm not sure if that was actually the thing that costed them the game, though. I mean, letting that Spectre free farm also not one of the wisest choices ever.
It's kind of, it's part and parcel, though. When you have, when 40% of your team went Midas before any item, how are you going to punish free farming Spectre? With Keeper of the Light? Like, it's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't help each other for sure. Any point that you, or shoutouts and plugins that you want to be putting out there as well before everybody leaves for Na'Vi Alliance?
Right. Thanks to you for letting me co-cast. It's always a pleasure. It's very, very fun. Great last game to end today on. Thanks to the StarLadder admins. Thanks to Vlad, XD4 Meg, Matrix. They've all been very, very fantastic. And thanks to the viewers today. I hope you guys had fun watching the games. We had a couple pretty good ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And peace. Oh, and people can check me out. Vykromond. I have a website, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Just type my name into Google or whatever. Thanks. Peace out.
Yeah, and for tomorrow, by the way, we'll be back at 16 or 1800 rather. It is again 1800, of course, after the winners or the grand finals of the international qualifiers. That is, we are going to start off with Empire versus Mouse. We're going to see Alliance twice that day. We're going to see KP twice that day. We're going to see Fnatic. We're going to see DD. Alliance versus DD is one of the games tomorrow, people. 1900. You should be there. CST time will be a great match as well. And of course, thank you for co-casting as well. If people want to find me, you can do that on SheeverGaming.com and all the related channels that are /SheeverGaming on basically any social media that you can think of, including YouTube. And that's it for me tonight as well, because I'm actually thinking about just watching a game that should be really great. Na'Vi Alliance. Apparently, it hasn't started yet. I saw that in the chat. But thank you for being here regardless. And yeah. Let's jump ourselves out of this game, and we'll be back. I will be back, rather. Woohoo. I'll be back in just a moment. And thank you for co-casting once again, and I'll talk to you later, Vykromond.
Yep, see you.